Good day, friends. I hope you are good today. It's great to have to connect with you once again on this video series. Thank you for taking time to stop by to view this video. I'm making this video to serve as a kind of help to my friends out there, particularly those who are vehicle users. There's a challenge I had at the workshop yesterday, and I'm chronicling, the challenge in this video for you to be able to see how you can avert, this problem from happening in your vehicle. In fact, don't allow this issue or this kind of mishap or mistake to ever occur in your vehicle, because it's actually a little mistake that snowballed into a major crisis that we had to overhaul and remove the engine from the vehicle. The vehicle, as you've seen in as you're going to see in some of the slide I'm going to show after this, is a 2004 Ford Escape XLT Jeep. Is a V6 engine, 3.0 liter engine. What happened? One of our dear esteemed customers, I refer to him as an esteemed customer because he's such a one that doesn't like anything at all to happen to his vehicle. But unfortunately, this occurred because of human error, and that's why I'm making this video for my friends out there to be able to avert such mistake from occurring. Two things actually caused this major breakdown in the Ford Escape. The first, there was actually an engine oil leakage in the vehicle, and that leakage actually made the engine oil in the vehicle to be depleted. So because of the depletion in the oil and because of its continuous usage over time, eventually oil ran out from the engine of the vehicle. And you know what that means. The engine oil is actually very helpful in the vehicle to enhance lubricating of the moving parts. As you are throttling or moving your vehicle, there are so many mechanical moving parts within the vehicle. The pistons will move up and down, and several other rotating parts of the engine, the crankshaft and all, even the camshaft too, on top of the engine. So oil is very instrumental to the continuous running of the vehicle. Oil is supplied from the base of the oil pan to through the different holes or orifices within the engine to where they are needed. Oil is also used to remove heat from those rotating parts so that they don't get burnt or overheat. So eventually oil ran out from the engine and it was not checked, and that led to a breakdown. The vehicle eventually became seized or knocked, if I want to use the theoretical expression. So the engine got knocked, and then we had to tow the vehicle down to the workshop and remove the engine from the vehicle. So this is a kind of a message alert to you dear car owners in the morning. Very, very important. In the morning every day, before you even start your vehicle and it becomes hot, make sure you do these two things. First, check that by means of your dipstick, check that your oil is at the proper gauged level. Also, I had to adjust my fan there. Check that your oil is at the proper gauge level. Then another thing you need to do is ensure that in the dipstick of your vehicle there is a minimum level mark. There's also a maximum level mark. Ensure that your engine oil is actually at the midpoint between the minimum and the maximum. It could also be at the maximum mark but not beyond. But never ever allow it to be below the minimum mark, else you risk the knocking of your engine. That is on the one side. Apart from the engine oil, check the oil too in your transmission to make sure there is oil in your transmission, otherwise known as the gear box. Otherwise, that could also overheat too and lead to a major breakdown. Another thing you need to check is your coolant level. Check the coolant level, that is the water in your radiator. Open the radiator, see the level of water there, and make sure if there is not enough, if it has gone down, try to top it up. There are some vehicles too, like in this Ford Escape example, it has an overfill or overflow tank. Check too to make sure the coolant is at the gauge level. And don't also forget your power steering pump fluid as well. Check to make sure that it is also at the recommended gauged level. Another thing that you can do, very important too, just take a small floor mat in your vehicle and try to check underneath your vehicle at the floor level, or when you move your vehicle backwards a little, check on the ground to see if there's any droplet of fluid. If there is, then call the attention of your mechanic to correct that leakage, because little leakage like that, unknown to you, eventually after a long time can cause a major breakdown, as in the case with this Ford Escape. So eventually we have to remove the engine from the vehicle, and we are actually doing a replacement. You will see the picture slides of the steps that we took to remove the engine. It may also interest you to watch that too after this video shoot. Feel free to throw your comments. If you have any problem with your vehicle, perhaps maybe you've run a scan and you have the code, you can send it to me. We can analyze it together, and I can tell you some parts of your vehicle that you need to check. Usually before I work on any vehicle, I hook up my automobile scanner into the OBD port of the vehicle. I read the codes from the computer of the vehicle, and I work with those codes to ensure a proper manufacturer specified fix for your vehicle. Feel free to call on me if you need our services. I'm Samuel Adebayo of 2% Automobile Technology Services. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate the time you spend to connect with me. Have a great and lovely day ahead. Thank you. The ignition cables and their wires to all sensors disconnected. For easier access, all the 6 ignition cables were removed. We also removed the intake manifold plenum chamber. Removed it, and also you can see the valve cover too was removed. Unfortunately, the oil has already become sludged and thick because of the irregular and service that was not done in a very long while. So the engine oil actually broke down and could not pass through the holes to lubricate the moving parts, hence the breakdown of the engine becoming seized or knocked. Here we strap the engine with the aid of the crane and the clamp, ready to be removed after all subcomponents have been removed. The AC underneath the vehicle and the alternator too was disconnected, so that it will be easier for the engine to come out from the engine bay. You can see it here hanging, and we're dropping it down slowly away from the engine. Quite a tedious job, but we ensured all safety precautions were observed to make sure there is no injury. And you can see the engine there removed. After the inner parts, the timing chain, the components, the crankshaft was disassembled, and we eventually found out that the main bearings and the bearings within the connecting rod of the piston was already spun with the crankshaft, hence making it chafed at some edges, uneven, and this would always cause knocking sound in the engine. You can see the bearings there with the marks on them, so that was actually the main problem of the vehicle. The engine out and the engine bay now empty. That's how we were able to remove the engine. Very soon it will be due for replacement. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video. We appreciate your stopping by to look at the video. If it has helped you in any way, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. My name is Samuel Adebayo of 2% Automobile Technology Service. See you some other time. Cheers. Have a nice night.